I highly suggest that you pay attention for the next 5 to 10 minutes. This is probably the most key information that I can give you. Here are 4 steps for answering complex questions. Step number 1, you need to think first. Oftentimes we get into an interview, someone asks us a question, and because we're nervous and we think that if we don't have a solid answer, that they're gonna think that we're incompetent, we rush into our answer. And when we do that, we start to ramble and we get lost. So think. And what I mean by that is the question is delivered to you, take a second, jot down a couple of notes. 2 to 3 words that you think are going to sum up your answer to that question. Maybe a small little sentence that just guides your thinking. And so, as I said that, some people said, really? Like pause for 5 to 10 seconds? It's not a lot of time. Let's take, for example, what's your approach to lesson planning? Right, so my approach is that wasn't too much time. And you can set it up to not be an awkward experience by, in the beginning, you set the tone that you're writing things down. You'll notice in your interviews that the interviewers are writing notes the entire time, right? Remember, I said this is a 2-way streak. So as you get started with the first questions and people are introducing themselves, you're writing down Dr. Johnson and you're showing them that you're going to be in the habit of writing notes during this interview. So when you get into the actual questions, hey, it seems natural that you are going to write and take notes throughout this process. 5 to 10 seconds, jot down 2 to 3 points. Guy, I saw that hand. If you could you send the question in chat? You can send it directly to me or you can put it to everyone. Step number 2, after you've taken a second to think about your answer the question. Answer the question. The next thing out of your mouth, after you write down those notes, after you take that pause, needs to be a concrete answer to that question. Well, duh, Wesley. No. Let me explain. I can't tell you how many times I'll ask somebody, so what's your approach to lesson planning? Well, when I was a kid, one of the best things, hey, in school, I learned a few things. No. Go straight into the answer. Go straight into the answer, because what you will see is that people are going to record your thoughts instantly. And if you start off with a background story about back in the day, I'm taking notes on fluff and now I'm getting lost 45 seconds in. I don't know what your answer is about to be. A lot of us like to lead up to the answer at the end, like this is an M. Night Shyamalan movie, waiting for like and there's the answer. No. Give it to me right at the beginning. And after you give me that concrete answer of my philosophy on classroom management is X, Y, or Z, then I want you to back it up with evidence. If there are any ELA teachers in this room, any writing teachers in this room, most of us have probably seen the Common Core standards. If you look at those Common Core standards, it has this flow. We are teaching our kids in this entire nation to answer questions with a claim, an answer, evidence, and an elaboration or some sort of example. We are going to follow the same flow because it makes logical sense and it keeps you organized. So your evidence, give an example of how you have applied your answer in the past. If I say my answer to the question, what is your philosophy on classroom management? I say my philosophy is to give students choice. For example, in my first year of teaching, I gave students choice by doing X, Y, or Z. That's my evidence. But now I need to back up that evidence with what were the results? What was the impact? So you see step 4, elaborate or summarize the real-time impact of your actions or your beliefs when it comes to classroom management. For example, in my first year of teaching, I gave my students choice with X, Y, or Z, and this led to X, Y, or Z when it came to behavior data. This led to X, Y, and Z when it came to my relationships with parents and students. That is a sequence that's going to help you navigate your answers when you're faced with these questions. They're coming back to back, back to back. You're trying to remember everything that you wrote down to prepare for this interview, getting a little bit hot, a little bit stressed. think first. Take a pause, jot down 2 or 3 notes. I promise you it will not be awkward. If anything, it shows me that you are really thinking and that you are really poised about this interview.